IGN, oh, buddy boy, you silly little bumbleclots, you. So, if you haven't already seen it by now, a few days ago, IGN put up their review for Transformers 1, and they gave it a 5 out of, 5 out of 10? And yeah, that's not really too great of a rating, with how everyone is just loving the film, saying it's the best Transformers movie we've gotten, all these critics and just fans alike who have been seeing it the last few months, and especially recently with the more showings leading to the release in a few days, it's been universal praise all around. And IGN comes in and gives this movie a 5 out of 10. Now, I don't understand, man. They're saying it's mediocre. Now, this review is by Tom Jorgensen. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So he says here, Transformers 1's strong central friendship and a great Brian Tyree Henry performance aside, this animated origin story could have used some major transforming before rolling out. Okay, all that Cybertron lore and backstory can be interesting at times, but none if it is covered with enough depth or novelty to feel fresh. That sentence seems a little, but none if it is covered. That sentence makes no sense, guys. I'm sorry. Transformers 1 is designed to be accessible to audiences with all levels of familiarity with the robots in disguise, but for anyone who paid attention to Michael Bay's first 3 live-action films, the movie throws warning flags by choosing MacGuffins that render almost every turn of the story a foregone conclusion. So I guess he just doesn't like MacGuffins, even though that's like all of Transformers lore wrapped into one. Now, sure, they could have maybe chose a different plot point because there's so much rich history at the beginning of the war in Cybertron to really pull from, other than just another MacGuffin, sure. But if you're trying to build across the central story of what Transformers is about between Optimus and Megatron, you kind of do have to introduce a MacGuffin, So I don't really agree with that. And then he goes on to say, Chris Hemsworth, Orion Pax, begins the story quite far from the Optimus Prime we know he'll become, with little direction or motivation to get him there, even though his journey from Robo-Miner to Robo-Messiah doesn't feel all that well drawn in spite of some nice, batchy exposition from Lawrence Fishburne's Alpha Trion. Hemsworth does good work evolving his performance over the course of the 104-minute runtime to account for the gravitas and responsibility that comes with growing status. Starting off as a powerless Energon miner, Orion Pax's good nature makes his ascension to Prime status somewhat gratifying, more so as the big climactic battle approaches. Okay, that's his opinion. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to go see it at some point soon, but if that's his opinion, sure, I guess. I really haven't heard that complaint until this IGN article, but sure, go off, man. And then he goes on to say, it may not surprise you to hear that transformation is a major theme, but that's something Transformers 1 communicates by telling us, not showing us or making us feel it. Still, it successfully builds out the relationship between Orion Pax and the friend he calls D. Mining the fuel that drives life on Cybertron is dangerous work, and an early near disaster sets up the close bond between D16 and Orion Pax. D is all about following the rules, Orion is a lot more loose, blah, 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 blah. And then he kind of goes off into this paragraph about B-127 in Elita 1, giving his thoughts on it. He says, and I quote, Key's B-127 scores a few laps with his stir-crazy enthusiasm for his new gang, but B's usefulness to the story is spent immediately, turning what could have been an effective cameo into a distraction from the more prominent bots. Most of Transformers 1's humor is pretty basic, broad enough for everyone to be in on the joke, but generally nothing that rises above quippy, robot-themed banter. The shortest end of the stick for characterization goes to the Johansson's Elita 1 for reasons that have little to do with her performance. Black Widow's story has turned into plenty of strong voice performances, but Elita is drawn here as a caricature of a girl boss devoid of any real personality traits other than stern. Playing one of the only 2 female Cybertronians in the movie, the others an angry spider lady. Bro, you don't know the name of the only angry spider lady in Transformers lore other than, I mean, I guess you could count Black Arachne as a separate character, but essentially they're just the same character, just named differently. Arachnid? Come on, man. You're reviewing a Transformers movie, you're giving it all this critique, but you don't even know the name of Arachnid. Come on, man. This is dumb. In the inevitable position of basically having to shout at the boys to stop getting them into trouble for the whole 104-minute runtime. It seems like this guy just doesn't know Transformers. He goes on and on in this review. There's a few more paragraphs that I really do not feel like reading, because that paragraph alone just absolutely summed up that this guy just does not know Transformers if it slapped him in the face. He doesn't know who Arachnid is, or maybe he was just telling a joke within the paragraph that just sucked. But, and he seems like he doesn't know how Elita 1 is supposed to be, or how a lot of female Transformers characters have been throughout the 40 years. I mean, it's not like Transformers female characters are so girly, and like, I don't know what this guy was expecting with Elita 1. Like, we don't need like super girly characters all the time. I mean, there have been super girly characters in the past. You know, there was Thunderblast and RC, depending on the iteration. But you know, I don't understand what he's really looking for here with Elita 1. Now, again, I haven't seen the movie, so maybe this critique could be valid, in my opinion, when I do go see the movie, but just judging by from his short knowledge on Transformers, it seems he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And Bumblebee, the Bumblebee critique may be the only thing that I could possibly agree with here, because I feel like Bumblebee is just shoved into every little possible thing Hasbro and Paramount can think of at this point, and it feels like Bumblebee really has no value or actual, significance in the story of these movies or cartoons or comics, whatever he's in at this point. The last 15 years since he got popular in the 2007 movie, I really do feel like they've just drove Bumblebee's character into the ground in recent years. So maybe this is right, but judging by how they're going to handle Bumblebee in this, I don't know, maybe this might be the best iteration of Bumblebee since animated, especially since he's actually talking in this movie and it's not the stupid radio voice like what we've been getting since the 2007 movie, which is almost 20 years ago now. So maybe this Bumblebee is going to be good. But at the same time, from somebody who hasn't seen the movie myself, I could kind of see where this guy is coming from, because again, Bumblebee has been shoved into every little thing Hasbro and Paramount can shove Bumblebee into in recent years, to the point where he really absolutely does not have any significance to the story overall for the most part. So maybe that is right, but I don't know. Haven't seen the movie. But everything else here, and I'm sure in these last few paragraphs that I'm definitely not going to waste my time in reading, he says some other just out of touch, uninformed, stupid stuff about Transformers lore and the movie itself, probably. So, in short, it seems like this 5 out of 10 really isn't valid from this guy. I mean, it is his opinion. It is his right to think this of the movie, but it feels like he's not really a Transformers fan and more of like just a casual person who knows about the Bayverse movies and whatnot. So I really wouldn't take this review to heart. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what y'all think about this review from IGN. Do you agree with it? Do you not? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email, if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to subscribe to my new Patreon link down below. It's got tons of exclusive content that you won't see here on YouTube or anywhere else, such as exclusive stop motions, Transformers photography. You guys get 1 week access before everybody else here on YouTube to my stop motion films. So if you guys want to help support me and help support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!